Well, good morning and welcome to Schenectady today in and around the Capital Region. We're so happy you're joining us today. We have a great lineup. We're going to be starting out with Brown School and their TEDx program, which is going to be really cool. You'll be hearing more about that from all of the students that we have here as well. And then we're going to be going over to Averill Park and talk about Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, perfect for the season. And then we'll be going over to Waterville and we're going to be talking with about the Armenian Holiday Bazaar, which is all food, and what's better than that? I'm sure they have extra stuff too. And then we'll be coming back to the Capital Region to talk about the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program and the Cash Coalition. And of course, that's how you can get your taxes done for free, but they're looking for volunteers right now. And then we'll be coming back to Schenectady to talk about Reading is Fun, what a great program that is. And then we're going to wind up the show, which is going to be very exciting because we're going to be going to Capitol Lights and learning about their big event in Washington Park. So we're very excited. Our breaks today are going to be the Christmas parade. What else would we be showing on a show like today? So we're going to start out with Brown School, and I have Christina James. Dr. James is the consultant for the TEDx program for Brown School, and she's sitting right next to me. And then I have a group of students with me. I don't have all their names here. Well, yes, I do have their names somewhere. Yeah, well, we're going to run through them though. But we have Noah Getz, we have Owen Morley, Jocelyn Bishop, Amanda Jasmine, Lauren Graham, and we have also Owen Hage, right, because he was an add-on. So we have a great lineup, and we're going to hear all about the big TEDx program. It's probably the first one for students in this area because we have had other ones. So we're going to start right out by, I'm going to interview Christina to find out. She comes from far away. You come from Florida.
Actually, I come from here. I was born in the Stockade.
Yeah,
I just took a sojourn in Florida.
Yeah, you were working in Florida to help with the schools there. So tell me about the TEDx program.
So this curriculum I developed, and that Patty Vitale was generous enough to let me—
She's in the audience. Hi, Patty.
to implement at Brown School is that we do the traditional English classroom, and we use canonical texts and non-canonical texts, and we do grammar, and we do vocabulary, and we do all that. But interwoven is TED and TEDx talks, and what we do with them is we use them obviously so students learn models of oratory, so they learn to value their vernacular voice, so they learn the life lessons from the TED Talks, but we also reimagine their transcripts as critical texts, and they compare TED Talks to the literature we're reading. So you're doing all of this English work, but you're also becoming very familiar with TED, and by the end of the year you are prepared to not only organize but speak at your own event. And so we are going to have a licensed TEDx event on May 18th, TEDx Brown School. But just to get students prepared and to contextualize why we're here today, is TEDx also allows you to have a license where you live stream an actual big deal TED conference. So we have the opportunity to live stream TED Women that's coming from Palm Springs. And
okay, that you can do that too.
Correct. So that's what we're doing in December, and it's going to be TEDx Brown School Women, and it's open to the public. So that's what they want to tell you about, and that obviously gives all of these students, both the high school and the 8th grade, the opportunity to curate an event and understand and speak a little bit before they actually do their thing.
They're really getting the overview of the entire project, which is great because kids really need to be able to kind of see the whole picture sometimes. Sometimes we see snippets, but to kind of immerse, it's almost an immersion that you're doing.
Precisely.
And I have seen some of the ones that you have put on from the Benjamin School, I think it was, yeah, which are wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's start out with the kids. Behind me I have Noah. And Noah, tell us a little bit how you're involved with this. Can you see Noah okay? Good.
Okay, so Brown School would like to start off by inviting all of you to our TEDx Women event that will take place on December 6th of 2018. We will be putting the event on at the Urban Co-works building across the street from Proctor's. Event times begin at 5:30, and the event is completely student organized, and I personally will be emceeing the event.
Oh, cool, cool. Okay, pass it over here. And you're Owen.
I'm Owen.
Yeah, hi, Owen.
Hi. So really what this, the idea of this TEDx event is really just the idea of the celebration of women in general. It's this idea of really not just equality, but that individualized idea of caring and that celebration of really what Brown School is too, because a lot of us deal with our own individualized goals, and we kind of attributed that to the care and compassion we have for women and just for people in general, because this isn't just a women's issue. This is a
It's
people
everybody.
issue.
It's an everybody issue, but it's highlighting
Yes,
women.
we all have
Yeah.
women in our lives. We have mothers and daughters and aunts, and we have people who we really care about. And this is really meant to celebrate them and what they've done, really.
That's really great.
I'm
So
very
you're pretty excited about this?
Yes,
huh?
it's very, very.
And who's next over there? Hi.
Hi, I'm Owen, and at
I got
this
two Owens here. Okay, good.
At this TEDx event, we will be presenting some slideshows, and we will have some music in the background based off of women's achievements, and we also have some food.
Oh, that's
So-
always good.
Yes. And we have that provided by the Maria's Cafe. Maria
Oh, yeah,
and
right over
Angela.
here on Union Street.
Yes, and it is based off of women, so it's really, really great for this celebration. And also, don't forget to eat the Malala's mac and cheese.
Malala's mac and cheese. What's special about that?
It is a woman name, so
Yeah.
Malala, we added it to make it just like a little fun joke. So.
Oh, that's cute. I
Yes.
like that. That's good.
Little Rutabaga Ginsburg, too.
Okay, Rebecca Ginsburg. Oh, wonderful. Okay, and is there a charge for this?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, we'll pick it up here. We'll go to the next one. Hi. And you are?
I'm Lauren.
Okay, hi, Lauren.
Hi. We have different groups who are going to be presenting poems
Poems. Oh.
that celebrate women's achievements.
Are these poems that you've written or poems that you've selected?
We selected the poems.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Do you like to write poetry?
Yeah, I guess.
That question wasn't on the list, but you know. Okay, so you're involved with the poetry portion of it, is that correct?
Our group has
Okay,
poems
good.
as well.
And let's see, you're mic'd. I think she's mic'd, so
I'm
we don't
mic'd.
need that. Okay, tell me, and who are you?
I am Amanda Jasmine, and during the event, we are going to be doing a Q&A for the TED Talks and what people have watched, so they can really take it in and just reflect on what they saw, because it is important to.
Okay, so this is a video.
Yes,
so
it's a
that
live stream.
after they see it, they can talk about it, right? And are you inviting the community to come and see this? Is that this is
Yep.
really what you're
Yeah.
trying to do? Are you going to be talking to the community about what's coming up with your program in maybe at the school?
Are we?
Well, actually, there is a young gentleman out in the audience who is in 8th grade who won the logo design for our actual
wonderful.
event, Will McLaren.
Hey, Will.
And, hey, Will.
Yeah, stand up, Will. Maybe we can get you on camera.
And he is actually at the end of the evening going to say, you know, everybody get out your phones. This is our social media for May 18th. And I designed the logo for TEDx Brown School.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Did we get some good shots from the audience there, maybe? Okay, and you're next. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Jocelyn Bishop. I am not a freshman. I'm a sophomore.
Well, that's a good thing. And next year, you'll be moving right on up.
I'm talking about the theme. So the theme for this year's TEDx Women is showing up, and basically what that means is women, whether metaphorically or figuratively,
Yeah, good.
women are just standing up and really stressing the importance of being there to drive change in the world.
Yeah, and we're seeing that with elections. A lot more women are being elected to office.
Yeah,
so
they're showing up.
they're showing up. You got to step up to be there, right? Exactly. You excited about this, right?
I am. I don't know if we have 30 more seconds, but they wanted to say their poem for you that they're going to
Okay,
present.
go
Can
ahead.
we do
Yeah,
it?
we have about a minute. I
Okay,
can
that'll
pull.
do it.
Okay. A Mark of Resistance by Adrienne Rich. Stone by stone I pile this cairn of my intention.
With the noon's weight on my back, exposed and vulnerable.
Across the slanting fields that I love but cannot save from floods that are to come.
can only fasten down with this work of my hands.
These painfully assembled stones in the shape of nothing that has ever existed before.
A pile of stones, an assertion that this piece of country matters for large and simple reasons.
A mark of resistance, a sign.
That's wonderful. Oh, I love it. I love it. You guys, can I applaud you? I want to thank you, first of all, for being here and being part of this show, but also for being part of the community and making your voice known, and to create an event in downtown Schenectady that will avail many people to come and hear what you have to say, because we need to hear what the youth has to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be talking with about Christmas Carol. Who doesn't love the Christmas Carol, right? Oh, Marley and all that. Stay tuned.
Are we ready? Can we count down from 10? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What a beautiful tree it is. Well, we are going to wait for word from the staging area to know that the parade is off and running and on its way up State Street from SUNY Schenectady, which will happen very shortly. In all of our enthusiastic anticipation, we're going to play a little bit more holiday music, but for those who might not know, this happens to be the largest nighttime parade in the entire Northeast. This Saturday before Thanksgiving. And this is the annual holiday parade down here in Schenectady. This year, our title sponsor is Fidelis Care, so it's the Fidelis Care Holiday Parade. And this is the 50th anniversary edition that you've joined us for tonight. So welcome, everyone.
Mama, get your hat, put your best dress on. We're gonna jump for joy on the Christmas joy.
I can't wait to see who's leading on.
The anticipation is getting to me, Mona. All your blues away.
Oh boy, that food smells good. Could you smell that food? Oh my God, it smells so good. So, Maria, thank you so much for bringing that here. But anyway, we're not talking about food unless we're talking about, what is it that, a little bit of what you ate?
An undigested bit of beef.
A beef, that's it. I knew there was something about food in there. So anyway, we're talking about A Christmas Carol. Who doesn't love A Christmas Carol and find out what's every season we want to hear about that. But you're the executive director of the Circle Theater Players over in Sand Lake Center for the Arts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you love it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, did you pick this play?
I did. I submitted it 2 years ago before I even had the job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've known for a while that I was, we picked almost a year and a half out, so.
And when did you pick the cast?
Oh, August, September?
Yeah, you probably had pretty good figured who was going to play the parts, but.
Oh, no, we never do that.
You never do that, no. Okay, no, I know that. But, you kind of, in the back of your mind, you have an idea.
I have an idea.
But you say, let's see who comes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you might get surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Somebody like, Sean O'Connor might, Sean Connery might show up.
You never know.
You never know, right. But right now we have Bill Douglas who showed up.
Yes.
And what are you playing, Bill?
I'm playing Scrooge.
Okay. You like the part?
I love it. I love the almost every version of the movie, built from Bill Murray to.
Oh, Bill Murray, Scrooge,
Alistair Cook. I mean, there's a lot of versions of it, but I've always wanted to play this part, so yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah, that's cool. And you, was this a part you've always wanted to play?
I have, and I jokingly tell my father that I'm modeling the cranky Scrooge after him. He doesn't like that.
Oh no, your poor dad. Oh no, don't do that to him. But this is an exciting play, I know that. And we have Liam over there. Hi, Liam.
Hi.
Is this your first time on stage? Not
Yes.
here, but first time on real stage?
Yes.
Really? Have you always wanted to be an actor?
Yeah.
You really did? Okay. So did you play in any school plays or anything?
No, not really.
Not really. This is the big thing then.
Yes.
And who are you playing?
I'm playing Boy Scrooge and a small boy.
Well, you're a small boy, it figures.
Typecast.
Typecasting, good. Do you enjoy acting?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you have trouble learning your lines?
Kinda.
Did your mom help you or dad help you, anybody?
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard to learn lines.
Mm-hmm.
You think you read them and you go, that isn't so bad, but when you start having to play them off somebody else, because you always got to listen to what the last person says, because that tells you what you say, and then if they screw up, you're messed up.
I always tell the kids in the show, repetition.
Yeah,
And we
repetition.
just keep repeating it,
Yeah.
and then it seems to be going well.
Yeah.
The kids seem to be having fun.
So are they all off book?
Yeah, Sunday was off book day,
Okay,
so
cool.
no more scripts on stage, and everyone's doing a fantastic job.
Well, and then right behind us you have George Filiu, who
Who?
has been a George. This chair is just making all sorts of noises.
I'll be haunting you, Brian.
Oh, and you're the ghost.
I am two ghosts.
The ghost of Christmas past or what?
Present.
Present.
And Marley's ghost.
Oh, okay.
So.
You got the chains and everything?
Not yet, but we're going to have some.
This week.
Great
This week.
chains.
Yes.
Great. And you like your part?
I love them both. They're completely different entities, so it's a lot of fun working on them.
Are you using a smog or a fog machine or anything?
Not as of yet, but we're trying. It's
because
it's
that would
such
be
an old
kinda
building.
cool,
It's
oh, the fire things go off.
But we can get it. It's just we have to
Yeah.
find it. That's all.
Well, even Proctor's has that problem. It's,
Yeah.
it'll set off the fire alarms for that. And we have HG over there. So tell me, what part are you playing?
I play the ghost of Christmas Past, and then I'm also Fred's wife.
Okay, and how's your parts going?
It's really good. I'm really excited because I've always loved A Christmas Carol, and
who doesn't, right?
Like everybody. And so I always kind of wanted to be the ghost of Christmas Past. So I'm really excited that I get to try it out.
And when is the play going to be on?
We open December 7th.
Okay.
8th, 9th, and then the next weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the next weekend. Tickets are $18, $10 for kids. And on Thursday, the Thursday evening performance,
It's
if
a
kids,
preview? Is it a preview?
No, of the second
Oh,
weekend.
the second weekend.
Something we started earlier this year is any student with a student ID can get in for $5 on that Thursday performance.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Great.
so-
That's an evening performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
And this show is, I adapted it with Melanie Douglas. So it's less than 2 hours with an intermission. So this is a really quick Christmas Carol. Kind of plays like a movie more than a
Does it play?
play.
Yeah. So you adapt it. So when you adapt it, just tell me, when you adapt a play, do you take the script and then you just cut here and cut there?
Oh, we took the novel.
Or you add a little bit?
We read the novel for months and months and months.
You read the book?
Yeah.
Who knew?
And it took a while to adapt it, and when we were adapting it, we adapted it for the Sand Lake stage.
Oh, okay.
So it's, there's references
it's-
to that town, and there's
how
it's
nice.
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with it.
So go see it. Go
Yes,
see it.
yes.
And you're right on the Route 43.
Right on Route 43.
Route 43, and it's a former church, so it's just a delightful place. They have Black Box Theater. Say that 3 times. Black Box Theater, and they also have. Usually, you have a craft fair too. Have you had your craft fair yet?
We didn't do that this year. We did a Children's Renaissance Festival this year.
Really?
Yeah, it was last weekend. It was really a lot of fun.
Cool. What a great idea.
We're doing a lot of cool stuff. Check out our website. I mean,
well, now that he's done, something new's going to happen anyway. So, Liam, did you go to the Renaissance Fair?
No.
You didn't?
He was home studying his lines.
You were studying your lines, right?
I asked him a couple weeks ago, I said, what do you do for fun? And he thought about it for a second. He was like, well, I guess I do this now. And I was like, it's a good fun to have. He's a great guy.
You have to be very careful, Liam, because what's going to happen, it's going to get in your blood. And then you'll be telling your mom, I want to audition for that. Let me audition for that. And the next thing you know, you'll be in Greece and you'll be in all these shows that...
I think it's too late for Liam already.
Okay.
He's been bit. He's been bit already.
He's been bit. Okay, good. Well, it's such a pleasure to have you on. I love to see new actors, young people on this show because, and I like the older guys too.
Thank you.
We don't so much.
But try and make it, because we all like to see these wonderful holiday shows. I know you can stay home and watch, you know, the Jimmy Stewart movies and all that, but you know, there's nothing like live theater.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing like it.
Please, please take your kids. Get people out there and seeing this live theater. You know what? I have a passion about it, and we must keep theater alive. It's the voice of the people. You never know what you're going to see on stage, and sometimes they bring really relevant things, and sometimes they just make you laugh. Right?
Yes.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Nice to meet you, Leah. I'll see you again. I'm sure you'll be in another show.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Mom, are you listening? So anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking, and we'll be standing up and talking about food, food, food. Doesn't that smell so good? Thank you. Stay tuned.
Schenectady City School Band program is all-inclusive, attracting a diverse group of students who celebrate individuality and creativity through music and community-minded activities.
All right. And it wouldn't be a parade without some representation from our great protectors in the Schenectady Fire and Police Departments. Well, here comes the fire rescue truck. The first one of the evening, followed by a distinguished team of firefighters. Their theme this year is the thin red and blue line, symbols that represent their commitment and their dedication to the community they serve. The American flag, of course, empowers in its display of the red, white, and blue. The thin line will always stand as strong and united as the county and city of Schenectady they serve. Thank you all. And our first sponsor banner.
And here we are back again, and look at this array of food. Oh my gosh. And I wasn't kidding, I could smell it. What was I smelling? The Armenian pizza there?
Mostly because there's lots of garlic in
Oh, I
Armenian
love
food.
garlic. Yeah,
Yes.
really, no kidding. So, the Armenian festival, or the food festival, and this is over at St. Peter Apostolic Church over in
Waterville, 100 Troy Schenectady Road.
December 1st and 2nd. Hey, you can't go wrong. But what do we have on the table? What can people buy?
They can buy anything that you see here on this table, and the best part is you can freeze it, you can eat it anytime you want. And and also, let me explain the delicious. I wasn't hungry till I started smelling all this beautiful food.
I know. Oh my gosh!
And we all use natural and healthy and everything in moderation. So we have.
You know, my uncle was a physician, and he used to always say, "You can eat anything you want, just in moderation."
That's right. That's right. So I have here Armenian pizza. We call it lahmacun, and it's basically ground beef with.
What is it on?
It's on a
like a pita, or
no? We make the dough.
Oh, okay.
It's made homemade dough, and
is
then
it with yeast or
with
no?
yeast
Yeah,
and
okay.
flour,
Okay.
and you can put ground beef, and there's garlic, parsley, allspice, and you just make a layer like that.
Oh, it smells wonderful.
And mint, and just cook it. And the best
you
part
put
also,
mint in there too.
yes.
Oh, wonderful.
And also you can make it with lamb, or you can make it with ground beef, whichever you prefer.
I love lamb.
I
yeah.
like this with a cup of yogurt with a little bit salt in it, and you can have it. The best part about this, you can freeze it, and then when you come back from work and tired, you don't feel like cooking, stick that in the oven, not microwave, it'll make it
I mean, microwave is okay
yes,
for some
put it
things,
in oven,
but not for pizza, not for this.
And toss some salad next to it, and you pretend you cooked whole day.
Make your salad earlier in the week, and you always have
yes.
salad.
Our
What
next
is- yeah,
dish
go ahead.
we have is a stuffed pepper.
Stuffed peppers. Oh.
And you can do it two ways also. You can stuff it
I
with
need a
rice.
napkin. My mouth is watering.
You can stuff it with rice or bulgur, which is cracked wheat.
Bulgur wheat.
Bulgur is the cracked wheat bulgur. Yes,
I have that.
Our church is making it with cracked wheat bulgur and ground beef. All the ladies and the community of the men also would like to come and help, and they stuff it together. They sing and make the best out of it.
This is so
and
good.
they can't wait for December 1st and 2nd to eat it.
Well,
and
the Italians, make a cake, an Easter cake
Okay.
with bulgur wheat.
Wow.
It's called a wheat cake.
That's nice
and it's
to know.
delicious. You put cheese and eggs in it, and it's so good. good.
Your food smells good.
Yeah, I know, it's so good.
And also you can have this with garlic, garlic and yogurt. You can put on top of it and eat it like this, or plain. And also you can freeze it and you can eat it as you want.
Okay, well, I guess I have to ask now.
Sure.
If I come there, will I be able to eat a meal, or would I be just buying this to take it home?
The best part is you can do anything what you want there. When you
Love
get
it.
there, you just can sit and eat, and I don't know if it's going to make it home. That's how good they are. So
You stop on the side of the road because the smell is so
and
good.
just keep reminding yourself you're going to put it in the freezer, though. So, so you can buy as much as you want. We stock the freezers, and before you know it, it'll be gone. So don't wait till last minute to buy it. A lot of people think they have time, but when you have good stuff, it will run out quickly. So our next food is a ground beef also. We call it orach.
I've never seen it fixed
it has
quite like
crack
that.
wheat bulgur, but it's the number one, the thin one.
Okay.
And then has
Yeah,
garlic.
the one I have, it looks more like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this one has garlic and mint in it, and it's all oven baked, no fried, which is good. And also with this, you can have the rice pilaf. You will not miss the Armenian church rice pilaf. My kids go crazy about it. And
Well, this is all good food. This is good food.
yes, and it's healthy.
Yeah.
So you can. We'll be having these also in our church. There'll be.
Did you get a shot of that? I don't know whether you're seeing this. Isn't that great? Look.
Oh,
look.
sorry.
Well, that's all right.
It happens.
Yeah, we didn't glue it down.
That's how natural they
Yeah,
are.
that's it.
And our next dish that we have is mazanov küfte, which is a yogurt soup.
It's a
but
soup.
This has this is a ground beef. Inside it, there's butter, and you eat this warm. You can put red pepper on it, and it's good. People will be like, "How
So
do
you
you
can buy
warm?"
like a quart of that.
Yes, they're like, "How do you warm this? How do you eat warm yogurt?"
Oh, no, you
it's
can do it.
amazing.
Yeah, it is,
tastes,
yeah.
and you can take this home, or you can eat it there with your friends.
Yeah,
So.
that looks wonderful.
And this one is Armenian sweet bread. We call it choreg.
Now, is that the photo that I pulled off
Yes.
the thing where I showed the women with the big trays?
Yes,
of that
all
there?
the women.
Look at that.
women's
Is that a
gift.
great?
Yes, so sweet bread.
And that's the photo that I pulled up.
Yes, and they have you can eat this with your coffee. It's 100% better than donuts because that's not too much grease in there, and you can have that with Armenian string cheese. And if you like to use Nutella in it, you can have it with Nutella or Hershey's, but nothing better than Armenian string cheese with the chorek.
Well, how is that different than?
It's less fattening.
Less fat. Okay.
Yeah,
Is
it tastes better.
Is it like a mozzarella?
It's
or?
mozzarella curd, which
Okay.
the church ladies make that. They
make their own,
string
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
it's you can freeze those too, and you can take it a little
You can
bit at a
freeze
time.
cheese, yeah.
Yes, so that's another one, and we also have raffle baskets. We have
Oh, how
50
nice.
raffle baskets donated by local companies. This was from Pebbles, and there will be 50 raffles, and also, we have the Armenian cookbook, which we'll be selling
can
it over
purchase
there.
those. Oh, I
it's
need to get one of
$20.
those, yeah.
Any food that you see here, it's all in here. It's put up by Armenian Women's Guild. The deceased people are here and their life, next generation, so they can use the cookbook. These are my two buddies. They came from Armenia.
Nice.
So-
Now, will there be crafts there or anything that people could purchase?
There's also going to be outside vendors.
Okay.
We're having, and also we have antique, like a sale, like a garage sale type. And there's things
it's
for
an event.
everybody.
It's an event.
The best part, and no parking fee. It's free parking, free admission, and spend
But
your.
bring your wallet. Bring your wallet
Bring your
because you're going to
wallet,
buy
bring
this.
your friend, and why not do your Christmas shopping from now? So if people will appreciate more food than gifts, you can give them bags of choreg with the string
that's a great
cheese,
idea.
put in a basket, and present it to them.
I like that.
As you know, the Armenian table will also have pomegranate.
Because you love pomegranates. If you've never had a pomegranate, get one because not only are they beautiful to look at, they're fun to eat.
Yes, and also it's healthy. And the pomegranate in Armenian represent life, marriage, prosperity. So it's a blessing, basically. So that's about it. And also, let's not forget about
little desserts.
the desserts. Okay, this is rujuk, they call it, which is bastıq at the same time. It's like a fruit roll-up.
Oh, a fruit roll.
It's made with the grape juice and.
How do you guys be so healthy? This is so good.
Yes, and you can. The best part, you can put it in a car, and whenever you feel hungry or something, just you have this, and those are sesame sticks.
I love
the
sesame.
simit. We call it simit. You can take those and have it in the morning with the coffee. Have couple, and then put it in the freezer.
So you could buy like a bag of that.
Bag of it,
oh,
and then
I'm coming.
just keep reminding.
I'm coming.
You can eat as much as you want with this and the choreg together or separately, or the kids can take it to school as like a snack for them.
The clock. Excuse me, I got my clock there. It went dead. This is interesting, and I shared with Peter, Father Peter, that I had my DNA done, and I found out that I'm like 80-some-odd% Italian, but I'm also Armenian.
Oh,
so
nice.
I got it. So that's why I like this food. See, and I'm looking at the food, and I'm going, yeah, this is good.
Yes, they're beautiful, and you can always, even the book, you can have it like a gift. Give it to someone with your choreg and string cheese.
What a great idea to make a basket of a little this plus a cookbook.
That's right. And the lahmacun, they're first sold out in our church because everybody likes the taste of it and how easy it is to prepare.
So tell us when it is.
It's on December 1st and December 2nd from 11 to 5, and Sunday is 12 to 4.
Okay.
And there is Armenian food, craft, auction, ethnic treasures, raffle, vendors, all at one. Just give us an hour. We'll make you feel like you never miss this chance again.
You do this every year, so we got to really remind people, mark your calendars, it's going to happen again next year, but look at this array of food. I love ethnic food. I don't care what it is. I'm going to give it a try.
Yes.
You know,
you will not regret.
You don't regret it. Not only that, it makes you appreciate how close we are to each other.
If it smells good, it tastes good.
It tastes good, exactly. Well, Maria Darian, we've been such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thrilled to have you on. We're going to take a quick break, and we are going to have a new guest on, so we'll have to move this. So, yeah, good. I snack a little, but I can't snack now. Okay, good. Thank you.
City of Schenectady, our finest and our bravest. Schenectady Fire and Schenectady Police.
Look at all of that shimmering gold in honor of this golden anniversary.
That is beautiful. For 50 years, that golden anniversary.
Now let's welcome Fidelis Care, the title sponsor of this year's holiday parade. Leading the way is Fidelis Care's Reindeer SUV. And we've still got officials.
What a great parade, but we have a parade that comes up every year from January to April that we have to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
What are we going to do?
I know, I know.
What do they say? Death and taxes. So here we are. And I have Joanne Passano with me. She's been on the show many times before, and a brand new person. Her name is Rushka. How do you pronounce your last name?
Chulakova.
Chuvakova.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
good. I was going to say Kova, but it's Chuvakova. Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, we're going to be talking. She's from United Way, and Joanne is a former employee of the Internal Revenue Service.
Yes,
so
retired
now. She knows all the ins and outs. But we're talking about trying to get people to volunteer. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, Rushka, how are you involved with this?
So United Way of the Greater Capital Region is a partner of the Cash Coalition. The Cash Coalition stands for Creating Assets, Savings, and Hope. And they're really the entity that's driving the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, which is a coalition of organizations, volunteers, government entities, stakeholders like the IRS, and volunteers like Joanne, to really help create access to free tax preparation services in the Greater Capital Region.
And a lot of people don't realize that you exist because, they end up going to places where they get their taxes done, and then they say, well, we'll give you, what do they call it? They'll give you your refund in advance, but it's really a loan.
Right, anticipation
So,
loan.
you know, the idea of what you do is you are truly just, we are going to help you with your taxes, sign the papers, and we'll electronically flash them in, right?
Right, correct. And what we're looking for is today is to get the word out. We need volunteers. We need volunteers, especially in Schenectady. Schenectady is underserved in that respect, and our volunteers are the center of the Cash Coalition. If we didn't have volunteers, we couldn't exist. Not only do we prepare returns, but we do a lot of other things as far as financial education and stuff. But here today, if we can get the volunteers, if you can read, you can do taxes.
Well, the other thing is that it's not only just the taxes, you need receptionists, you need people to look over what they have and pass them on to the next person.
Correct.
Check them when they go out. I mean, there's a lot of steps in there.
Correct, and you know, the most important thing is we have preparers. We have greeters, preparers, receptionists, people that actually only send the tax returns, do nothing else but send the tax returns electronically. But our greeters are most important because they greet the taxpayer, they make sure they have all their information, they make sure they have their W-2s, their driver's license, their social security cards, and then all the other information that they might need. We need the greeters. Greeters, and you say, well,
that's step one.
That's step one.
Well, step one is making the appointment.
Oh yeah, and then the preparers who actually prepare the returns. If you go into irs.gov and you go to in the search engine, which is up on the right-hand side, as I can recall, and put in Lincoln Learn, that's where we have our preparers and our greeters take tests, and what they have to do is be certified. Okay, the certification is an open book test. I took one last night. I took the basic test. I almost got 100%. I got one wrong, okay? But that was a trick question. Yes, it was. It was like, I know this answer, and then I did it, and I didn't know the answer. But everything, the volunteer is like, when I get done doing a tax return, now I've been with the government since 1972. I retired 2 years ago. But once I get done with the tax return, I give it to Rishka or somebody or you, Ian, as a quality reviewer.
Don't give it to me.
Well, no, but you would be certified.
No, I do my own taxes,
so we're all checking each other's work. So there's no fear, there's no responsibility as far as when the taxpayer leaves. Yes, yeah. And then also the Volunteer Protection Act of 1997 protects the preparer in that as long as you stay within the scope of our program, you have no worries.
You're not doing tax planning or doing anything
nothing
like
that. Nothing like our preparers out there that get paid.
Well, you know, the thing that comes up to me first of all, and I'm concerned, I have to admit this, I mean, I do use a Quicken tax program, but what bothers me is the tax laws have changed.
Yes.
So are we all going to go nuts?
Well, let me say this about that.
We are going to go nuts.
Last night I did my first tax return, and I've been doing taxes. Well, I'm in my TEDs. A test. I had to do the test.
How did you do it so quick?
Yeah, and I did it on the practice lab, which is hooked up with our certification process. But oh my gosh, it's 1040 used to be the front and the back, right?
Yeah, easy.
Okay, easy. Now it's 3 sheets.
No.
Oh, yes. And it's so these people need help.
Simplification,
right? Yes, yes. The law.
What is this paper reduction act?
I don't know, but they want us to e-file and stuff. But we need the volunteers and to help to help the people get what they're deserving, because we give everything back to them. You know, we don't keep anything. It's
you don't
free.
Keep files or anything.
But and everything goes back to the taxpayer. We don't keep anything.
They're responsible for it. Not only that, but it prevents fraud too.
Right, and it's a teaching program, especially for those children that were or young adults that are in high school. If they want to. Volunteer.
You take those volunteers?
Oh yes, college
I know
students.
you did Union College.
Yes,
because they're wonderful.
Oh, they are. They're great.
Yeah.
But there are only so many, and there's so many people in the Schenectady and Albany counties that need need help very much
Well,
so.
I'm going to get back to the 1040 that is now 3 pages. Does that mean that, is that all that they're going to have to submit? Because, I mean, I do the long form because I do deductions, but now, will I be doing, I mean, I have no idea when I'm like,
well, you know what? Let's talk about volunteering because Richard and I are on next week.
Yeah, I know.
On the 27th, and we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
Okay, and
Oh,
we'll have everybody.
I have what they call agita. When I think about taxes, it's like, oh my. But I do my taxes in 24 hours. I usually get my stuff together the night before, and then the next day I just do all my taxes.
Right. And what you got to do is sit and read this year because I couldn't
What
find.
do you mean
Read. Did
she say read?
Read where the things go because it's not. And I'm sure the software programs out there will tell you exactly where to place it.
so.
And that's what we have. We are
You're
not
using a software.
Right. And I do it without going through the software program because I'm supposed to know stuff. And so, but it's step by step, like name, you fill it in, an address, and it gives you a whole interviewing process. So it's very, and then what's rewarding is to help these people with their tax returns. You know, it's just amazing.
Well, I mean, it's a challenge. I mean, I've been doing my own taxes for years, so it's one of those things I just do. But I love the fact that the United Way has gotten involved in this, and you and Richard are really involved with getting the Circles of Mercy, of course, is what he's doing. But we want volunteers, right? What is the commitment, time commitment?
Probably the time commitment in doing the tests and stuff is probably maybe 12 hours, but you can do it over a course of, you know, a couple.
That's the preamble.
Preamble. And then volunteering, we would like to see people at least 2 to 3 hours a week.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Yeah, and if not, give us like, you know, in the beginning, because everybody wants to return. Everybody wants that refund.
Okay.
So in the beginning. But yeah, so it's not, and you're there with, we have some type of online training, of course, but face-to-face training too, so we would help the people. But you get a hold of United Way, Tracy, which Tracy is
but Rushka's here today, so we're going to give her a big shout out.
She's enjoying her time with her family right now.
But get a hold of the United Way and the information. I think we have, don't we have a slide there?
Yeah.
And they can call them and get.
And I'll be putting that on Facebook as well.
Okay,
so
great,
we're going to get the word out, and I'll make
you.
sure volunteers needed.
Right.
I want to thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
I mean, not so much for the tax part, but I'm really nice to see you. No, it's okay. It's death and taxes. We have to deal with it.
I know.
And if we didn't have taxes, you know, we wouldn't have good roads and we wouldn't have a good, you know, system infrastructure.
Right. Correct.
Got our fingers crossed. Keep that infrastructure going. We're going to take another quick break. Thank you both for being here. It's always a pleasure to see you. And I'm going to see you next week too, right? And then we're now going to be talking about reading is fun. And why is reading fun? Because we have Al Majid. Thank you.
Each and every one of the 50 years that we're celebrating this evening, they even danced along with Santa and a motorcade prior to the official establishment of the parade in '68. Today, many Merit Dance Center graduates are working professionally for Disney and cruise ships all over the place. You guys are amazing! Next year, I hear we're supposed to tumble like that, Mona. I'll start practicing tomorrow. The Merit students have been known to perform amazing day parades, Hawaii's Aloha and Provo, where I imagine it's a little warmer, and the Orozco in Florida. It's hard to do that.
Well, great parade. But anyway, look, who you got somebody sitting on your lap reading?
Bookworm.
Bookworm.
It's a mascot.
I love your mascot. Yeah, I found that on the internet and popped it up there on the screen there. So you're looking for volunteers too?
Right.
Yeah, so what's going on?
What's going on is we continue in our 5th year to have more than 100 volunteers working with almost 200 children in Schenectady schools, pre-K, K, grades 1, 2, and 3, once a week, 1 hour, one-on-one, teaching them. These are kids who are highly challenged with regard to reading. They may come of foreign ancestry, problematic.
Whatever it is they're having trouble
Whatever
reading.
it is, having trouble reading, we're there to help the classroom teachers as an additive to help overtaxed, overpopulated classroom teachers work on these children. In addition, we have fundraising events and fun events, a hayride event every October in Orchard, Riverview Orchard, and very innovatively, on April 21st of this year, we had our first Grand Reading Jamboree.
I know that.
Proctor's,
You had a
know
big,
that.
big crowd.
We
I
had about
understood.
1,000. This year we will have it, the date is not pinned down, but sometime in April at Schenectady High School. We're embedding ourselves in the school
Oh, you're going to do it at the
district.
high school this
Yeah.
year.
We are dedicating the program to the Schenectady City School District and the children with whom it works. We will have the very, very heavy footprint of all 11 primary schools, the 3 middle schools, the high school, and the off-site Schenectady, Steinmetz Learning and Career Academy.
Yeah, the
which
Career
is called-
Academy.
They have a wonderful culinary arts program.
Oh, they do.
So
Well,
we've
Laura
contri-
Macy runs that. yeah.
Absolutely, she's fantastic. She will cater for 1,000 to 1,500
Wow.
visitors. Yeah, this is big stuff.
And she can do it with her crew.
She could cater at the White House.
Yeah.
CDTA provides busing all around the city. And what we need is, for the program generally, since we're one-on-one, we need as many volunteer mentors as we can get. Think of it this way, because if it's one-on-one, with every mentor we get, we serve one child in need. For every mentor we don't get, we fail to serve
Yeah,
a
we fail,
child
yeah.
in need. So we need that always, forever.
And what is the commitment?
Once a week, one child, one-on-one for an hour. We don't coerce anybody. We have volunteers who choose, my wife included, is working with 2. We had a Schenectady Police Department sergeant a few years ago who worked with 12 kids, believe
wow.
it, but always one-on-one.
Yeah.
The bonding is very important. The personal contact is important.
They don't see somebody different every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we can also use volunteers. We want at least 100, if not more, for the Reading is Fun programs, Grand Reading, second annual Grand Reading Jamboree.
Now, the thing is, there's many ways to learn to read. Do you use like sight cards? Do you use books?
We
What
use
do you
sight
use?
cards.
Anything
We
that's-
use sight cards. We use phonics. We have.
Oh, good.
The
I love
routine-
phonics.
Yeah, the routines are very simple. Each volunteer must undergo a very quick, rudimentary, easy background check. Conducted
because
by the
they're working
school
with
district.
kids.
Right, and it's easy. No one fails
Yeah.
it. We have a 75-minute training session. We have our office at the First United Methodist Church, which is across the street from Proctor's and a bit up. The method, look, we're not a college of education. I spent 40 years at University, 35 at Albany as a professor. That's not our shtick, okay? We tell our volunteers, here are suggestions, whatever way works. A woman called me about a year ago and said, I've never taught, I'd love to, I'm very anxious about it, I'm not sure. I said, when did you learn to read? By the time I was in kindergarten, I was a very good reader.
Yeah, see, I could read when I
said,
was in
how
kindergarten.
did you learn to be a good reader by the time you got, that was me too, and you too. I
Yeah.
know. I said,
My
"How-"
mother used to
yeah.
read to me, and she'd
Yeah.
go over the words.
How
and
did you achieve that? I said, well, it was my mother. She was wonderful teaching me. I said, well, do what your mother did.
Yeah.
If it worked for you with your mother,
gonna work.
you mother the kid by
Yeah.
doing with the kid. So we're not hard bound to method or methodology. Some are comfortable with sight cards. We like sight cards too, partly because the district classrooms use sight cards. But I happen to be a phonics.
Yeah,
kind of-
yeah, I'm a
That's the
phonics
way I
person,
learn,
yeah.
and I think phonically
I
as
think
well as
if you can sound it out, you can figure it out. Although some words are a little harder than others.
whatever works for you is the right way.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, between September and June, we want a palpable, measurable improvement in the performance and reading skills. We also emphasize conversation vocabulary, building conversation and vocabulary. As to method, what works best. And we're very, very highly supportive. Last school year, we had over 100 volunteers working with nearly 200 children. And I remember this is wonderfully for me and the program, I think I stopped counting at 7, so I've gone to at least 7 appearances with you. And
I think so. I can tell you when I can look it up when I.
how far beyond I can't,
yeah.
I'm 81, so I can't calculate that high without taking my shoes off and counting my toes, okay? But these are highly challenged kids, They need them. They will be our neighbors. They will be our co-citizens in the years to come. They cannot perform well in family and neighborhood and in citizenry without having reading
to read
skills.
a newspaper, to read anything,
That's
really.
right. Without having reading skills. We're there to help the classroom teachers build those reading and conversational and vocabulary skills.
And I do know that some kids can fake their way through, reading. They can't read, and I know that even in high school, sometimes you have kids that still can't read, but they seem to slip through the things,
Yeah,
so we got to catch them.
But, about 3 years ago, a high school teacher called me from the area and said she was teaching 11th graders. These are juniors. They're due to graduate the next year, okay? She had 4 overpopulated classes. We couldn't help her because we cap out at grade 3.
Yeah.
I said, what's the problem? She said, many of my students in all 4 classes, remember this is 11th grade, 17-year-olds are reading at the 2nd grade level.
Yeah.
At that time, I was about 77 years old, so I thought maybe it was a hearing problem. I said, oh, you mean the 7th grade level, which would be better? She said, no, I mean the 2nd grade level, 1, 2, 3, okay? That is intolerable for the life of an individual, a community, and a country like ours. That has to be countered, and the Reading is Fun program
And
is
these
about
people
countering
vote,
that.
so they need to be able to read certain things that are coming out. I mean, they need to be educated.
Absolutely.
And you can't educate if you can't read beyond,
Absolutely.
So, we're
Absolutely.
going to have to close our interview here.
It's wonderful.
Sorry. But we need volunteers. Check with Al. You've seen his email up on the screen, and also he has a address, and I suppose he'll take a donation too if he has to.
Absolutely.
You'll do that, right?
Love you.
Good. Yeah. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Great Thanksgiving and
We're going to
Christmas.
have Lenny Raschuti on next. Come on, Lenny. Come on over.
Image from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical, and that is going to be delighting audiences at Proctor's December 5th through 9th. And there's the Grinch! I know him! Yes! Don't you remember you messed up my hair a couple months ago when I introduced you? That's right, Easter. I blame you for this.
Oh my God, who's your hairstyle? You guys need Christmas, right?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. No, the Grinch says we hate Christmas, but we love Christmas. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Moving right along to the nicer people.
And here we are back again. Lenny Raschuti is on. He comes every year, and we talk about Capitol lights. And I always say, how many light bulbs did you screw in today?
Oh, a lot of them. But not today yet, but a lot for the season.
Yeah.
We're back for our 22nd year, which in of itself is an awesome feat, and couldn't be possible were it not for our partners, folks like yourself, all of our Price Chopper, Market 32, the Paul Auto Group. I mean, I can't even begin to mention them all. But
they all
and of course the
support you.
visitors, the folks who come year in and year out.
This is a
140,000
fundraiser.
people last year.
It's a fundraiser.
Fundraiser, yes. This
And-
supports our programs of PAL. We provide programming for about 2,000 youth annually throughout the year, various recreational, educational, social opportunities that would not be possible were it not for the strength and the continued support that we receive through this particular fundraising event.
And you charge per car.
Yes, it's
not per person, but per
it's
car.
a per vehicle admission, and
unless they bring in a van with 40
people come
people.
in, different ways. They'll 15-passenger vans, school buses, coaches, you name
And
it,
they all pay
trolleys.
differently.
There's different price for everything, but it's amazing how creative people come. We had folks come one year. They brought it. They had a tractor and a cart on a flatbed that they towed in, and their party got on their cart like they were going through a field, and we're like, yeah, sure, absolutely. They had a ball.
Well, not only that, you make it a party.
We try to make it, obviously it's festive, and it's one of those things that, in our hurried times that we all live in nowadays, there's not a lot of time for tradition, not a lot of respect for it, and this is one of those things that seems to have taken on its own family thing. I come from an Italian family, and the tradition meant a lot. The Sunday dinners at grandma's, etc. And
seven fishes.
the seven fishes. I mean, that's when my mom passed away about a year ago, but that kind of we're trying to like
You
who's
keep
going
it-
to
yeah,
continue
who's
that?
gonna do that?
You know, so
Who's getting
you know,
the
it's-
smelts and who's getting
exactly. So it's one of those things that the lights in the park has become a family tradition for so many families, not just in the capital region, immediate capital region, but beyond. I mean, people come from all over.
Yeah, and I do know that because I talk to people and they go, yeah, we're getting a carload and we're going to
Yep.
be going through there. The kids love it. And you, how long does it take to go through the park? Because it's not like zip, zip, you're out.
No, so if you come on a what I call a nice night, it should take you about 25 minutes or so to traverse the carriage paths around the lake, through the park, up the hills, over the river, and through the woods, and then stop and visit at the lake house. You can certainly spend a half hour
Get
in the
hot
lake house,
chocolate or-
have a hot chocolate, visit with Santa. We have about 25, 28 various craft vendors. Everything has to be original, so it's not like you're not going to come in and buy a pair of store-bought glasses,
okay, yeah.
but you might find something bedazzled or baby dolls or clothes that are made, handmade, or fresh made soap, perfumes,
I
etc.
love that.
So
what a great,
yeah,
but not only that, you're supporting the local economy.
well, you shop local.
Shop local, yeah,
Yep.
because it's really important. These people, when we talk about shopping local, these are the people that support the community.
Yes.
They hire a bookkeeper, they hire this, they have to buy supplies. They are supporting the community, and we really need that.
Absolutely.
Not
So
taking it out and sending it to Bentonville,
you know,
Arkansas.
for sure. So a night in the park, you know, for where you're going to go for $20 and have a nice night out for your family of 5, 6, whatever you have in the family. You know, for $20, it's a nice night out. You're in downtown Albany. You take the opportunity to visit some of the restaurants maybe
Exactly.
you haven't been to in a
Yeah.
while. You hit Lombardo's. You hit
I
Jack's.
love
you,
Lombardo's.
You know, you hit
Oh
the
my
Fountain.
God,
Any of
yeah.
the places that you haven't been in years. You stop by the Orchard. You know, that type of stuff. And you do those things because you're in the city. You make a night of it. You make a day of it. We have people who will come down. They're going to Disney on Ice. They hit the lights in the park. Those types of things. So when you package it all
they do
together,
a twofer.
it becomes a great event. You know,
Yeah.
it becomes a great night
now,
out.
when they go through the park, they're not like, I mean, because there's going to be a string of cars. So
Yes.
I would assume that they're all going to travel like about 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, the speed through the park is about 5 to 7 miles an hour as you're going through the park. There's some nights, depending on when you come. There's Saturday nights you come, you're creeping. You're literally creeping through the park on some of the Saturday nights, some of the busier nights, especially as you get closer to Christmas. And then, of course, December 23rd, you know, Santa's last night before his big night, you know, is always a busy night. So, you know, there is a strategy, there is a thought process in deciding when you take your family through the lights in the park.
How many displays do you have?
We have our number of displays range annually from 125 to 130. This year we have 129 displays.
Wow.
Our footprint doesn't change, so our
You're in the
2 mile
same space.
footprint, it's the same footprint. We can move
just
stuff
change,
around, and of course we get new displays. Like this year we have a whole new themed area, and it's all LED. So on top of it being, you know, brighter and more vibrant than a lot of displays, it's a new themed area. So the 12 days of Christmas, as folks come through, they'll sing the Partridge in the Pear Tree and the
How
Four
cool.
Calling Birds,
Is
etc.
there music in the park?
There's music in the park. Our official station is B95, and the Christmas music is played
It's
right
all the
through your
time.
car, right through all the time.
I have to just announce who's coming on next week, and then we'll finish up our interview here. Next week we have great lineup. We always have a great lineup. I'm telling you. We're going to be talking about blacksmith art, and look at that. He makes great art through blacksmithing. We're going to talk about the holiday events coming up, the city holiday. Girl Scouts, St. Clair's retirees, they've got an issue. We're going to be talking about that, and we need to get their message out. Talking again about taxes, and the Waterford Museum will be on as well. So we cover everything.
On the agenda, yeah.
Yeah, we cover everything. But we haven't, we're covering right now, we're covering the Washington Park because they have such great, do you have any bulbs burn out? I'm just curious about these bulbs. I mean, I know what it's like to change bulbs. I can't imagine how
Well,
you do it.
we're always bulbing. That being said, the bulbing throughout the show takes place less now because of the LEDs. So the LEDs don't need to be changed
Yeah, they're
as often.
wonderful, yeah.
They tend to last longer. They're also more durable. The incandescent bulbs, they pop real easily. They break real easily in transit. The weather, you know, a branch comes down and catches a part of a display.
I never thought about
Oh,
that.
the constant branches coming down. I mean, the trees in the Washington Park
Yeah.
are very
Gorgeous,
mature.
yeah.
They're gorgeous. They're very mature. And, you know, especially we got this snow so early, all the leaves haven't fallen off yet, so the trees are heavier.
They're heavier.
Because the leaves are still on them. So we have a lot of that occurring. But it's a great way to spend an evening. The show is awesome. The lights are vibrant and beautiful, and with a little bit of snow on the ground, how can you go wrong?
I want to just ask one question. Is there plenty of parking around the park?
Once you go through the
plaza,
lights
what
of the
do they
park,
call it?
the lake house.
Lake house.
Yes.
Lake house.
So
I knew that was something.
we do have parking, and obviously the parking is perfect because you're not going to go into the lake house for 2 hours.
No.
You're going into the lake house
Pop
for
in and
25 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on
Grab
how
a
much
few
time
things,
you
yeah.
right. Grab some things, have the hot chocolate, visit with Santa, which is enough time to keep the traffic keeps moving. People come in, people go out. It's a constant all night long, and somehow we make it work.
You love doing this, don't you? I can
Well,
tell.
it's 22 years, and I've had the privilege of being involved for all 22 years.
All volunteers?
Well, we do obviously have some paid